Welcome to First Wing, a Fourth Wing podcast.
I'm Brianna, and this is the start of my Iron Flame journey.
And I'm Kendra, an experienced dragon rider, here to help this second year. Just a quick note, this book contains explicit content, including swearing, sex, violence, and death, and so will this podcast. These chapters have a very explicit sex scene. We'll talk about it, but not that much because
Yeah.
just because. And I don't think there's actually violence in this chapter for once, in these chapters.
No, we just have some sassy comments.
Sassiness and
Yeah.
a little bit of cat.
Yeah.
But no actual violence or death. I mean, they mention, I think, people die in the role or something, but that's going to happen no matter what.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Today we are discussing chapters 48 and 49. Last episode ended when Xaden picked Violet up, stopped her from killing Kat, and took her to the room
That
with
has
the
this
dais
throne thingy in it.
that has this throne, this full-on
actual
throne.
The assembly room or whatever it was. Yeah.
And told everyone to get the fuck out, and it was so great.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. This is the famous throne scene that anybody who has read Fourth Wing Iron Flame, knows. And you especially know it if you're like following all the different social medias and whatever, because it's got a line in here, which you highlighted, by the way, that is like on stickers. And
Yeah, I did spot it pretty quick.
yeah.
Yeah, it is very well known. Sean, my husband, has finished now all 3 books, and he was like, "Oh, where are you at?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the throne scene." And he goes, "Oh, yeah." It is. So I was like, "Yeah."
That scene. Okay, cool. All right, the blurb on the top of chapter 48 says, as a result of the Treaty of Arisha, the power to represent the province of Tyrandor in the king's scenarium has hereby been transferred from the House of Ryerson to the House of Llewellyn. And this is like a public notice that's transcribed by someone with the same last name as Jasenia. So
Yeah.
Sorella Newert?
Neil-
Neilwert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Treaty of Arisha, I guess, it doesn't actually have to do with the first rebellion, does it? Or
The first rebellion.
it does?
Oh,
Or does
wait.
it have to do with the what's it called? Unification.
It's a very good question because it sounds like since they're transferring the province that this has to be done after the rebellion. So this was 6 years ago then. That's what it sounds like. Because otherwise,
Sure, sure. But then what Xaden says about the throne and him and stuff, then I was like, well, I guess we'll get to it and we can see what it says.
well, he talks about Llewellyn is actually like
Yeah.
on their side, but the king doesn't know that.
No, it's not about that. It's
Oh,
about
okay.
how he says that he would have been king if it wasn't for the unification.
Yeah, but I don't think that has to do with this.
But that doesn't have to do with this. That's just
No.
separate.
Yeah, the unification made it so that Tyrandor was just a province,
Yeah.
not its own thing with its own kingdom.
Right.
Right? So now he's just a duke, right?
Yeah.
So I do believe this is now that Fen,
Yeah.
the dad, is out of the picture, he's turning it over to someone he considers to be loyal, the king,
Yeah.
loyal to him to represent Tyrandor.
Yes, and that's what this
So
would
that's
be.
the House
Well,
of
yeah, that was
Llewellyn.
definitely the Treaty of Arisha. That line definitely made me think
Yeah.
that's what it had to do with.
Because the blurb in the next chapters, it's the Orisha Accords. And this one is obviously something that they're now writing.
Yes, yes.
So this Orisha Accords has got to be something that is being currently written. This is the past. I had a little bit of like, on those two things. So,
Yeah.
but it's a treaty. So it's like some kind of agreement that's being made.
Yeah, so it must be like, fine, we won't kill everyone in Tyrandor.
Yeah.
If you guys do these things, and this is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so basically sitting in the King's Council now, Llewellyn, this guy, I don't
Have
know
we
his first
heard that
name.
last name, Llewellyn, already? Because it sounds very
Yes.
familiar. Who is it?
Is he the one, question mark, is he the one who raised, like, Liam
Oh.
and
Yeah.
Xaden went to his place?
I don't know. It just really sounded familiar. But I
it
didn't
was
know.
mentioned earlier.
I didn't
It
know
was
from
mentioned
what.
earlier, and it may be that or someone was mentioned because
Or someone, a cadet
that would
with
make
that
sense
last
if he
name.
was kind of raised by this person who
Yeah.
is now taking over the seat and is also,
Probably the king thought it was like
doing a good job.
punishment.
Yeah, like really getting him to learn how to. They
Yeah.
obviously let him train extensively and teach
And
Liam.
Liam. Yeah. Yeah.
I could look really fast in the wiki.
Okay. Let's find out.
So we're not.
I just want to know if there's a cadet that we met with that last name.
No.
You're sure?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so looking this up on the wiki, which should be correct 'cause it's supposed to come straight from the book, um, the Llewellyn, who was the Earl of Llewellyn, became the Duke of Tyrrendor. He became the 15th Duke of Tyrrendor at the point where Fen was basically executed, right? He also was given Xaden and Liam
Okay.
to foster.
Nice.
It says Duke Lindell, so maybe that doesn't make a lot of sense. He took guardianship of them and they were fostered with Duke Lindell. The two men ensured they were properly trained. That's what it
Okay.
says here. So I'm not entirely sure how he took guardianship and someone else fostered them.
Who
If that's
knows?
exactly correct or not, but I know we've heard his name in this regard, and we've heard, and now it says Duke Lindell. I do remember Duke Lindell mentioned as well. So we'll see if we like find out more about them.
Yeah, it'd be cool to meet them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So get that dry, boring history away. We're now in the throne room? Question, whatever.
Yeah,
The assembly room.
it would have been a throne room for sure.
Mhm. I'm obviously not going to read, all of this because it's just a nice long, I don't know, can we even call it a sex scene?
It's a sexy scene.
It is sure a sexy scene. But just in the beginning, she's still, like, kind of freaked about this whole cat thing in a way, like, she's still, like, vibrating, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
about the cat thing. She'll be vibrating in a different way later,
yeah,
but she says to him it's funny because he's, like, making sure, "Okay, are you in one piece? Are you good?" You know, then he, like, sets her on the throne, and
yeah.
she's like, this whole time she doesn't know what's happening.
No,
You know, it's not until he, like, gets down in front of her, starts taking her shoes off that she's started like, "Why are you
just
taking my shoes off?"
Zayden keeps doing this thing.
Yeah.
This is definitely not the first time
Well,
he's
the first
tied or
time.
untied
Her
her
shoes,
shoes,
yeah,
and she's
exactly.
always, like, so enamored by it, which I think is
Zayden on
adorable.
his knees. I
Yeah,
mean, no one else gets that.
yeah,
She says, she being Violet says to Xaden, and then she's talking about Cat.
yeah,
A lot of she's on this. She says, "She said I'm just a convenient holder for you to fuck." And then he says, "I heard. How hurt are you?" And she's like, "I'm fine. My shoulder's a little pissed, but I think my face took the worst of it," right? So he's like, kind of like, whatever about that.
uh-huh,
Well, no, you think he's just like, whatever about that. He's basically showing her in this whole scene
yeah.
that she's not a
A convenient
convenient
placeholder,
placeholder,
yeah,
right? Um, and she's like and then he's like, "Sit." And she's like, "I just, like, lost my shit, threw my control out the window in front of the entire quadrant because of the venom she spewed, the motion she shoved down my throat, and all you have to say is sit?"
yeah,
He's just being so calm about it. I mean, what we basically figure out, he's just like, "I am going to bring you to 3 orgasms, one that you'll never ever no,
yeah.
your best of your life." And that's the handling to this very injured pride of yours.
Yeah, well, and then they do have a
They
conversation.
do, actually, and that's a good conversation.
It is.
Yeah. I love how she says she wants you for your name, and he says, "I know, and you love me in spite of it,"
Yeah,
which
that
is a
was
good point, right?
cute.
And then he says, "That's one of the many reasons I will always choose you."
Yeah, and I was like, "Good job at reassuring her."
Yeah, and this whole thing is literally just one reinsurance,
Yeah,
which at first, when I first read this, I was like, "Is he just, like, getting gotten so hot and bothered by her, like, almost killing Cat?" I was, like, a little confused until the thing at the end where
yeah.
he's like, "I'm trying to show you I can do this for you and whatever,
I just
whatever."
I didn't even think about it, honestly.
You're like,
I was like,
"Okay."
"Whatever."
Here we go. Yeah, she's sort of like, "In here, what the heck?" And he's like, "They're all my rooms, right? This is my house, right?" And this is where he says the line. He says,
Mhm.
"My house, my chair, my woman." I did mention that there was like this singer on Instagram that's been like, he's been kind of, some people are annoyed by him because he's been like using a little bit. I want to say his name is Jared Benjamin. He's been using, like, Fourth Wing and, like, pushing, like, "My song should be on the soundtrack," and, like, just, like, using this in a way
Wave
to
to get
push
popular.
himself
Yeah.
popular,
Isn't that
but
just, like,
is that just
what
marketing?
marketing
Yeah.
is?
So, it's kind of hard to say whether, like, I don't know. I'm not annoyed by it. I listen to his music, and it's Jared Benjamin, and he is really good. His music is very much, it does fit the vibe of Xaden, you know what I mean?
Then great.
Yeah, and he had written the song before, and someone said, "Oh my gosh, this sounds like a Xaden, like, life, whatever, mantra, whatever you wanna say call
Yeah.
it," yeah. And so, apparently at one of his, concerts that he did, small venue concert type of thing, he, like, someone yelled out, like, "Say it, say it, say it," and he said that. And everybody's, it's all girls, and they're probably all Fourth Wing fans.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, it would be kinda neat if you listen to his music, you'll see that it does definitely fit with the vibe, so
That's awesome. Well, good for him. I hope he does, get into the TV show. That sounds great.
I know, totally. Okay, so I'm not reading all this,
No.
but there
I
is a
did
line. that you mentioned.
Yes, yes.
Want me to say it? It says the heat in his eyes could melt iron.
I know, and I just said iron flame. That's it.
That's all that was your line, like, "Ah, it's Zayden. Zayden just needs to stare at
Just
the word stone and he can melt." Well, we don't want it melted.
no, no,
Oh
but
my
it was just like it
god.
was just like knowing the title of the book, that was a really funny line, and that's
Yeah.
it. It just popped out to me.
Yeah, for sure. He's saying all sorts of things to her here about how this is what he thinks about all the time and everything, and it makes me wonder, is he saying that just to get her more hot, or is it really true? Probably
Probably
it's true.
true.
Yeah. Okay, good. So pages go by and pages go by. She's like getting there, and
Yeah.
suddenly, could you say that he put himself in her mind? What did he do here?
Oh, yeah,
Suddenly,
like,
she is in
let
his mind.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
he opened the
He's done this
pathway to
once
his
before.
when?
There was a time.
I don't know.
It was either the first or second time having sex.
Really, she felt his feelings?
Yes.
I don't recall that at all.
Where's the first book? I'm almost positive. Wait, no, 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 no. It wasn't during sex. They're separating, like they're I don't know. They're both going to do different things in the first book. It's still the first book, and she's like, "Leave me alone." She can't block him out yet, and he just starts fucking with her and
He
doing
kinda
this.
gives her images of what he saw her, right, during
Yes, but
sex?
it wasn't
Okay.
in his POV.
It was
Like
in
the
his
way
preview,
that it was
yes.
written was like, "I see
Okay.
you. I look at you."
So he's more giving
But it was
her
like flashes of
past
images mostly.
memories, his memories,
His
yeah,
memories, yeah,
and how he felt about it at the time. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're
So,
right.
not
This is a little
exactly the
different.
same
It
because this
definitely
is, like,
seems different
right now in the moment,
in the moment.
so it's pretty cool, but it was similar vibes.
It's a similar vibe, yeah, and it starts out with shimmering onyx wrapping around her mind, so obviously
Yeah.
he's the onyx
Mhm, in her mind.
in her mind, right?
Yeah, because I don't know, what color is Taryn? Just I think it's, like,
Does
white
she
hot. Doesn't she talk about it being,
I
like
don't know, I've never paid attention to that,
I
like,
don't know
if
if she said what color, but it's always, I think it's, like, white hot, right? I don't know. Okay, we have to pay
wow, he's
attention
not
to
paying
that now.
attention. I feel like I've never paid attention to what his color is, he's just, like, there,
Yeah.
you know?
He's just, like,
And then
the
onyx is obviously Zayden, and then the shimmering iridescent
pearlescent.
pearlescent, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Zayden okay, good. So now he's basically showing her like, she is getting all of his feelings,
Yeah.
and he is feeling like he would love to actually have sex here, but he's not going to,
Yeah,
right? That's what he's feeling.
I almost highlighted the line when he said, "I can't," but I can't.
You're like, "Why can't you?"
But then I was just like, I don't know, whatever." I just kept on
I
reading.
had to actually I swear it was the 3rd time reading this that I understood fully that he was, like, saying, like, "I need to show her that I don't need to basically be, gotten off at the same time, it could just be her."
Yeah, like it's because I love her and it's about her.
Yeah, and it's about her,
Yeah.
and that's why he's so. Because I used to think he came out of this, like, out of her mind and was, like, mad at himself for going in like, letting her into his
Oh,
mind, that's why he was, like, that weird reaction, but no, he's, like,
no.
literally just so hard.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Deep breaths, deep breaths."
I'm
Anyways,
trying to prove a point,
yeah, I'm
and you're
trying
making this really difficult.
he made it difficult, I
Yeah,
think, by throwing himself in her mind or her in his mind or however whatever he did,
that
right?
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now she could, like, use that against him.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't know. I know exactly how you feel."
Yeah, because after she finishes her orgasm, she, like, looks up and he's 3 feet and a million miles away, and I
Yes.
think that's what confused me, I was like, "A million miles away? Like, where'd he go?" But he's
I
literally
think that's just
just
how she feels, like, that sudden distance is
yeah,
just like, "Whoa, why are you so
that's
far?"
I'm thinking that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's basically saying, "Don't touch me, stay there,
Yeah.
I need a minute." He's like, I'll happily, have sex with you tonight. We'll both be happy.
Yeah.
But right now I'm making a point and I need you to give me space so I can make the point, basically."
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so she's a little confused by it. And then she's like, "Do you want to clue me in why you're keen on torturing yourself?" And he says, "Because I need you to see I'm more than capable of worshiping your body without reciprocation. You're not a convenient placeholder for me to fuck." And she's like, "Oh, this is about cat?"
I
She
I
gets a
don't
little
know what
annoyed
yeah,
here.
like, I kinda get why she's annoyed, but also it's like, I don't know, weren't you
Well,
just
I
I mean,
think
you were just talking about it.
when he finishes explaining all of his thoughts on this, it makes more sense because
Yeah.
he realizes the fact that she can feel jealous or insecure is because she does
Yeah.
is insecure, and he's trying to maybe give her that security.
Yeah. Like,
I
"Well,
don't know.
please remember this."
Just think of this
Yeah.
instance. Yeah, I don't know. So then he says, she's like, "I know that about not being a convenient placeholder." And he says, "But you don't." And then she says, "Sit." And she's like, "For repeat performance?" He's like, "No, so I can help you with your boots." So funny.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I don't like not reciprocating." And he says, "I don't like you thinking you're not the center of my fucking world, yet here we are."
It's the best. That was also really a cute line.
Yeah, because again, he sees what he saw with Kat and was like, "Why does she
She's
think
getting to
she's any
you.
less?
Yeah.
Like, how does she even compare herself?" Well, I don't know. We sometimes women have a bad habit, we women, because we're women, of comparing ourselves to other women
Yeah.
because it can be really toxic in the whole, like, I don't know, that whole world,
Yeah, definitely.
and I don't think guys understand it as much.
It's because it's not even about sometimes it's not even about the man in a way. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like she can know that Zayden loves her, but
She can
still.
still feel less than the other woman because that
Yeah.
whatever, some women can do that too very well, make people feel less.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes and I don't know, and sometimes just those insecurities, they kinda crop up and come in weird moments. It's like me when I go to, like, social events sometimes. I stand around and I'm like, "These women all look gorgeous and beautiful, and they know how to do their makeup better than me." You know what I mean? Like, just all this, like,
Yeah.
funny, weird comparing thing when probably no one is, whatever,
Yeah. It's like
thinking
going out with my
anything.
really hot friends.
Yeah.
Just like, "Oh god."
Why are you so hot? Not fair. Yeah. Okay, good. So he says that. And then he says, oh, I like how he says, don't like, so he said, like, don't worry, I'll fuck you tonight. He says, I'm making a momentary point, not a lasting vow of masochism.
Yeah, that was a really funny line.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that
like,
one.
this is not something I'm planning on sticking to.
Yeah.
And then he's back to Kat again. This is the reason this is all happening. Again, it keeps bringing her back to it and upsetting her again. But he's like, I thought you were going to kill her. And she's like, "Would that have been unforgivable to you?" And he said, "Nothing you could ever do would be unforgivable to me. And I don't particularly care if Kat lives, but I'm not cheering for her to die either. She's a necessary yet volatile ally. And Serena, who is her
Her
sister,
sister.
would be a disastrous enemy to make. But I do care that you would have regretted killing her."
Right.
And then Violet asks, "How could he ever love someone like her?"
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clear that he didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I thought that was made very clear by Kat, actually.
Yeah, but again, we haven't heard Xaden yet say anything about this because he
Yeah,
hasn't talked about it,
yeah.
which is stupid. So here we get a little bit,
Speaking about stupid, there is a few things he says here when I'm like, "Excuse me?"
probably the same things I thought.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm on your side until this. What is this?" Anyways.
Yeah, well, he says right here, he says, "I didn't. You were the first and only woman I've ever loved." And then she's like, "You were just engaged to her for I don't even know how long you're engaged to her." And he says, "I would have told you if you'd asked. That's the problem here, Violet. You don't ask.
That's not the
That's not the
problem.
way it works."
Yeah, my note was the first time I've been actually mad at Xaden, but I'll get over it.
There's, like, almost a little bit of gaslighting here, like, he is convincing her that the problem is that she doesn't ask him questions when we've already discussed this, like, there's questions you don't know how to ask you don't know to ask because you don't know there's anything to ask about.
Right.
So we can't wait for questions to get to know each other.
Yeah, and then I hate even more that she's like, "Oh, he's right."
That's what I'm saying,
I'm
like,
like,
gaslighting.
"No, he's
Listen,
literally not."
I love Xaden, but this particular point is, I think, the most toxic point of him.
Yeah.
He's also a fictional
Yeah, and he
guy
also
who
isn't very good at this. Like, he does love Violet, and that's the only thing that makes him, like, good
fully
in this
redeemable, yeah.
relationship,
Yeah.
but otherwise, in general, he's not good at this stuff. So, he is trying, and that's good, but this is nonsense, and it's like, you should I just have to believe for him not to be a bad person is that he doesn't realize it's nonsense.
Yeah.
That's the only possible explanation, otherwise he is, like, actively being a bad person to her, which I wouldn't want to believe.
Yeah. I
But
mean, we can also yes.
she does, like it's like, okay, could she ask some questions instead of none?
Right, because she's
Fine.
fully avoiding the question about her mom and him, right?
Yes.
So there are things that she doesn't wanna ask, but I just feel like this whole idea that I will tell you if you ask
Yeah, and it's like,
is
what am I
never
Oh,
workable in a relationship. Just tell her
were
everything.
you engaged to, the person who's, like, 4th in line to take over
The throne
promo?
of yeah.
And were you engaged to her because of a contract with your dad?
Right.
Tell me all about this. Like,
Yeah.
at what point was she supposed to ask this question? Anyways, more recently with Kat being around, it's like, okay, yeah, maybe she's been a bit avoidant.
Also, he comes home late, it sounds like late at night.
Yeah.
They screw, they go to sleep. She wakes up, he's gone,
And even if he's not gone, she has
and she
classes.
has classes. Yeah.
So it's
So
not
it
like they're having the most amount of time to sit and chat
yeah.
about their feelings anyways.
I don't think there's a person out there that believes that this is the healthy way to have a relationship. I mean, there's probably a person out there that believes that. But I mean, like in general, most of the readers I think agree that this is dumb.
Yeah.
But I do think that he is trying to get Violet to confront things by asking. I just don't think it's
Yeah.
correct. Like I think
No.
he's twisted it to
I
be
think you should give
correct.
a bit of information, and if she doesn't ask any questions about it, just leave it at that. But giving no information, then be like, "Well, why aren't you asking?"
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. We've said our piece.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So she's like, "Well, you don't ask me about my exes." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to know about your exes." Which I don't know. Sure. I think again that's an avoiding question, but
Yeah,
that's
but maybe
okay.
he's like, "Well, I don't wanna know because what if I know, then I'll, like, obsess over it."
Yeah, maybe.
So,
So he's like, for my good, it's better if I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, he says, I don't want to know, but I suspect it's the same reason you continue to not ask me about the things that actually bother you. So
Right.
he's like insinuating that there's things she doesn't want to ask. And she's like, yeah, there is in her head,
Yes.
And then he says, Kat and I weren't engaged. We were betrothed.
Mhm.
And there's a difference. And I do agree there is a
Right,
difference.
he's engaged like, he
He's
did
like, he
propose
said,
to her.
will you marry me? And
Yeah.
this is not what happened.
This is like, "You guys will get married."
Yeah. He says the betrothal, that clause of the alliance kicked in when she turned 20. So obviously they were kids and the alliance was written. She turned 20. They're like, now you guys are
Supposed to get married.
supposed to get married. And he says, we tried it out for about three-quarters of a year. I just love this
Tried
tried it
out
out.
marriage. He was
No,
like
tried out being engaged, right?
yeah,
Or whatever,
betrothed.
betrothed, but we weren't compatible. And it came to light that Takaris was never going to let us have the luminary anyway. He wanted us to use it there.
Yeah. So we talked a bunch about why Takaris is such an idiot. So I guess that was his goal, was
He
like
wants them to
he
come
does
there and do
want them
it
to use it. He just wanted it to be in use there. But
because he wants to own everybody. He wants to
yes.
control
But like
everybody.
how is that going to work? Like genuine. Like they're still a part of this other country. How are they supposed to get the weapons and do all that if all the production's happening somewhere else? Make it so much harder to transfer it to where it needs to go. And plus,
Well, the guy's
aren't you making
obviously
this
just an
with like the
ass.
alloy hilt like and the
Yeah.
alloys in Navarre? Like I truly don't understand how this is supposed to work.
I don't
So
know.
whatever, just annoyed at him even more.
But I love how he's sort of like, yeah, when he realized he wasn't getting what he wanted out of it, he's like, never mind, I'm not going to marry her.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't love her.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, we know Kat, and I can see how that would get on his nerves a lot.
Everything about her.
Everything about her, yeah. She's saying something like, well, Kat seems to think you guys had great sex together, and he's like, yeah, well, you don't have to like someone to have sex with them,
Yeah.
or even to enjoy it, which is, I guess, a true datum. I don't know, haven't experienced that particularly, but she says my jaw slackens considering what we just did. What they just had sex.
Yeah. She's
Is she suddenly
thinking,
thinking he doesn't like her?
yes.
What?
Now I'm annoyed at her all over again. I'm like, you should just she says considering what we just did. And I'm like, maybe you should consider what you didn't do. Isn't that his whole point? Okay,
Huh.
whatever.
I don't know. Maybe is that what she's thinking here? Because that's the weirdest thing ever. She
That's the
knows that
only
he loves
option.
her. You
Yeah.
don't have to like someone to fuck them. My jaw slackens considering what we just did. Okay, whatever. We'll just like go past that. And he says, "You didn't exactly like me the first time." And he's
Which
gonna
is
say,
true,
having
kinda.
sex. I don't know. I mean, she was definitely lusting after him. We weren't really sure where she was in emotions.
I mean, she was like, "This is a terrible idea. I probably will gonna regret this, but I'm gonna regret not doing it too, so,
Yeah,
what are
let's
we
just do
gonna
that.
do?"
He says he was already in love with her at that point.
Yes.
And then she thinks this is right there is why I'm hopelessly in love with him. He says a lot of good things after this.
Yes, yes.
Um,
Yeah, he does redeem himself for the
yeah,
rest
he
of
does a better
this.
job here. Yeah. And he's like, I didn't really care basically if you didn't love me. I just wanted you all the same, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, maybe you'll remember that the next time Kat goes digging around your head. And she's like, digging? She made me jealous. And this, where he says she didn't make you anything, I was thinking, Brianna, this is what we were talking about,
Yeah, I
right?
was like, "Oh, I thought that was already obvious."
It wasn't to
Not to
her.
her.
No, she didn't catch it.
Yeah.
right?
She
Oh, yeah,
just
I forgot that
enhances what you already have.
I
Yeah,
totally
this is
forgot to mention that she had the conduit in her hands the whole time she was, like, having those orgasms. He was probably thinking like, "Ugh, we don't really need to burn down this Emily."
yeah, he did hand it to her.
Yeah, I thought that was very smart of him.
Yeah, he's like, "But this throne already has scorch marks. We don't need more."
Yeah. Anyways, she's like, you heard what she said. How would you feel if one of my previous lovers was had you on the mat for a challenge and then told you that he knows how I taste? And then of course Aiden's like not happy with that thought. And he's like, she's keeps going like how he had me first and da 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 da, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, you want me to ask more questions? Then don't avoid them. He didn't answer. He was just
He
saying,
just said
she's not my first. She wasn't my first, whatever. But that wasn't even the point. Yeah.
yeah,
The
and I
point
was
was
just
she had you first. He kinda misses the point of the word first there, but
yes. Yeah, no, my point was just, like, he does avoid the questions that she does ask. Like, this reminded me, I'm like, "Yeah, well, he also does do that when she does ask questions."
yes.
So, again,
Yes.
not even helpful.
No, Zayden. I'm almost not liking us breaking this down so deeply because I'm, like, getting more mad at Zayden than I wanna be.
Okay,
Anyways,
listen,
okay.
not all characters can be perfect. We like them
And I
for their
have to
depth.
remind myself of that because perfect is not a
Normal?
real thing.
Yeah,
There's no perfect.
yeah.
So, he's got a little something twerked here.
Yes.
Little I don't know if twerked is the right word, but you know what I meant. Twisted,
Twisted,
wrong,
tweaked.
tweaked. I don't know what he's twerking for. Anyways, yeah, I love how he says none of your previous lovers are writers unless there's history I'm unaware of when it comes to Ados. So they'd never have me on the mat.
Yeah.
I'm guessing infantry. And then she says, I didn't sleep with Dain. Oh my God. I didn't sleep with Dain. And then she thinks in her head he was right on the infantry. And you're like,
So this is our first hint of anything because
what
we
is who? What? Who?
just an infantry guy.
And if you think about that, that means the person was in the infantry quadrant and she wasn't, because she hasn't had sex at all since she's been in the quadrant.
Since she's been a writer, like,
Yeah, but she
cadet.
wasn't part of
Yeah.
a quadrant. She was just a younger
Yeah, but she
person who
could've
was too young to join the quadrant.
yes, okay, I see what you're saying, but she could've been 18,
And
which
we also don't know the legal sex age.
no,
I mean, the legal consent age.
legal sex age. She could've been 18 and the infantry cadets go in
Yeah,
at 20, or she
yeah.
could've been 19 in the infan
No,
so
for
she's
sure.
in the college, so she has access to the
I just
cadets.
wanted to point out that there she is, this gorgeous girl walking around this college full of all these available people in 3 quadrants.
And there's, like, the unification party and probably
Sure.
other times when they kind of all gather together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, those are stories that'd be fun to get, but
But not a scribe, I guess, or at least
well
we
well,
don't
she just
know.
we just know there's an infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said 3 quadrants and I meant 4, by the way, guys. I meant 3 other than writers, but
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. G
Okay, good. So, she when she says about not sleeping with Dane, he's like, "Yeah, I noticed that the minute you kissed
It
AJ."
was awkward.
He's like, "It looked awkward as fuck,"
Yeah, that was funny.
which is funny, and we do get that POV chapter of him watching them kiss.
Yep.
So and we get to hear that, so
Yeah,
but so he says, to answer the question, the one that she says he's avoiding,
finally.
I'd feel jealous, which is something you have a unique ability to bring out in me. And then I'd kick his ass, partially because that's what I do when someone challenges me. And more importantly, for implying there's any other future besides the one where you and I are endgame.
That was that was so cute.
You know, heart,
Great way to
heart
say
melt.
that. I love that, like, turn of phrase.
It's an interesting thing because she does have a lot of insecurities. She does not. And there's a couple times that she's been a little bit more confident about this, but in most cases,
Like, confident that he loved her when he
or that
wasn't
they'll
saying
and that
it.
they're the right couple and that they'll always be together and all this kind of stuff. He seems to be very like, "I'm on this road. This is it, Violet. You're it for me." She seems to be a little bit worried still from time to time that he thinks that way of her. Like, she knows how she thinks of him.
Yeah.
But she does seem to
Well, I feel like in book 1, when she was more confident, it was like, "It's you and me, we're equals except for that you're a 3rd year and I'm a 1st year." But, like, other than that, we're just 2 cadets in the Writers Quadrant. We're also both very powerful. This is fine. But then it's like book 2, you are one of the leaders of a rebellion. You've been like just everything about him just like explodes. And then I feel like that's where the insecurity comes from. It's like he can do all this and he's doing all this and he's in charge of all this
yeah.
and
And now he
I'm doing what? I mean a lot, but she doesn't think about
she doesn't
that.
think about that, no. And she keeps forgetting the fact that she's considered to be one of the most powerful writers of her year, which no, not
No,
just of her
no.
year, but
Yeah.
just the one most powerful one is, she's definitely hitting that top of the list, right?
Yeah.
But she also is getting here the fact that, like, he is almost royal or almost like he's got a
Being in
high
his
rank.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kat while she doesn't have a high rank, she is fourth in line, you know?
Yeah.
So there is some of that realization too that's probably not gonna help at all.
No.
Anyway, so he says their end game. It's cute. We all sigh. And
Yes.
then she sighs too. And he says she thinks gods, he ruins me when he says things like that.
Yeah.
So then she explains how she's felt anger and inferiority, insecurity, and all that stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And he still hasn't said to her that yet why he keeps asking these questions. He's trying to understand why she's feeling these things
Yeah.
that can be enhanced, right?
Yeah.
He's like, anger, I understand, but inferiority is something you'll have to explain considering you're more powerful than any other cadet.
Right.
And then this is where she's like, this has nothing to do with signets. You're a Ryerson,
Mhm.
right? And he's like, yeah, you've known that. And she's like, no, you just called this chair a throne. And he says, because it is, or it was before the unification.
Right. And then I was remembering how Kat was like, "I'm after the throne," and
Or
then
the crown, she
the
said.
crown. Yes.
Because, yeah.
Yes. The crown. And I was like, maybe Kat is thinking that after all this, they're gonna like unintegrate, ununify.
Like, if they, like, win this or whatever, if they take over Navarre or something kinda thing?
Yeah, and I don't know what if there's anything that would give her that impression or if that's just what she would want to happen, but I'm like that because that is the only way you would get it.
No, for sure.
It's like, okay, sure, maybe if every country in Navarre goes back to being governed by themselves, then Xaden could be the king and you could be the queen.
Mhm.
I don't know what you would do. Probably not good things, but
Right.
you'd be a bad queen.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like almost anyone who's lusting after a crown, is not gonna be a good
No,
person.
because I think when you do when you do your public duty right, it's not just fun parties. It's hard work.
Yeah.
So
It's like, isn't there some saying like that in Harry Potter? Something about the person who doesn't want the power, like, for the Deathly Hallows or something like that,
yeah,
like.
it's like having leadership like forced upon them, and they find that they wear it well. I don't know, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, something. So, yeah, so she thinks, wait, are you the king of Tyrrendor?" And he says, "Fuck no. I mean, yes, technically, I'm the Duke of Arisha by birth, but Llewellyn's on our side and doing just fine at governing the province. Even if Tyrrendor became independent, I'm more useful on the battlefield than on a throne."
Right, and I was like, "Okay, I was right." Kinda like I talked about how, like, okay, fine, even if he could have claimed to a throne, I don't think he even would want it particularly.
He's not the politician type.
No, he's like, "Well, what would I do with Sigale?"
Yeah.
She's just supposed to
She
sit
could be the
there?
queen. In fact, she could just take over the whole throne. She can be both king and queen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
go Sigale.
Goes the Gale.
Trying everyone to have an attitude like Andara.
Yeah. So then he's like, okay, we're off topic, like back to this inferiority thing. He says, I know damn well you don't feel inferior to me. So who, Kat? And then I like how she says, I think I liked you better before you decide the feelings were something we need to discuss. And then he says, sorry to inconvenience you, but this year the role of Violet Sorngale will be played by Xaden Ryerson, who will drag her kicking and screaming if he has to into a real relationship with real discussions because he refuses to lose her again.
That
I
was
love
so
that.
cute.
I know.
'Cause that was
He's
her
like, I'm
last
gonna
year.
be the feelings person this time. She's like, damn.
That was her last year. She was like, "No sex until you admit we're in a relationship." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Damn it, Violet."
So she doesn't. Okay, so she kind of answers the question. She says, Kat was right in one regard. She is the better match. She's noble by birth, brave for becoming a flyer. It's so weird to say brave for becoming a flyer. She jumped off of a cliff.
No, but being a flyer is still, like, probably the most dangerous of them, not
That's true.
not because of the training, but, like, then you go fight in the war.
Yeah. Okay, fine. So she's brave for becoming a flyer, driven, ruthless, and mean as hell, just like you. And then she thinks, fuck, they're pretty much the same person. And if I know anything about the same person, is it
You
generally
don't
doesn't work out
want
well.
Yeah, you don't want the same person.
No. You
No.
need someone to kind of like balance you out a little bit.
This
Can you
is
imagine?
yes,
Crazy.
yin to your yang, as they say.
Yeah. So he's like, hold on. Do you somehow think that I find you inferior to her? I guess that's what she thinks.
Yeah.
And then he's like, literally, you were just in my mind. You know exactly what I'm thinking, right? And he's like, I thought we handled this. And she's like, sure, before I knew you were leading a revolution. So this is what you were talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And way before some beautiful, royal.
Aristocrat.
I have a hard time saying that
Oh,
word.
sorry.
So I was skipping it, but well done. Who you used to be betrothed to, but conveniently was never mentioned.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Conveniently never
Never
mentioned.
mentioned. Appeared with her big brown doe eyes and sharp ass claws at our bedroom door, half naked. And he's like, "She what?" They never come back to that. I'm like, we heard about it, but this is his first time hearing it.
Yeah, Zayden, why didn't you ask her? Why didn't you ask her if she showed up half naked at the
Yeah.
door? God,
Why didn't you ask about that?
ask more questions,
Why
Zayden.
didn't you ask about the Deverelli silk? Sorry, that's just the silk she was wearing.
Yeah, that was. You pronounced that though.
I can pronounce that correctly somehow. Gosh darn it. English is my first language, everybody. I don't know
Uh,
how that's possible. Okay, good. And then he's like, and no,
she
she
finishes.
has, yeah, she's finishes and says, and then has the nerve to tell me I'm not special just because you like to fuck me. And he's like, I do like to fuck you.
I love
Love
it.
it, actually. And he's like, don't side with her, which is not siding with her, but okay.
No.
She's like a little bit overboard here. And she's like, why did she turn me into such a fucking mess? And how do I make it stop?
I'm like, please tell us.
Yeah, we
Tell
all
us,
want to know.
Zayden.
We all and we do
And
find
this
out.
is very
I
interesting.
know. So, he's like, I don't want to have this discussion again, but I will. You're about to get some hard truths because I wasn't clear enough in Corden. You raged today because you were angry. You got jealous because you were jealous. You grappled with your inferiority because for some reason I can't understand you feel inferior. And you lashed out with insecurity because I think both of us are just figuring this out as we go, which is a very nice way to say that.
Yes.
Own your feelings like you did last year and be honest with me. Cat can't plant emotions, warp them, or even sway them unless you are already headed that way. She can only
Even sway
amplify.
them.
So
So,
they couldn't sway her friends.
yeah, that would be
Yeah.
impossible.
So you were wrong.
Yeah. But it really would have been a great
It
plan.
would have been a great plot. No, but unless they were already like driving me crazy. But that I don't think any of her
No,
friends
but
ever feel
that's
that
not
way.
what I was guessing. Well, I mean, slowly over time, but I just mean originally just befriending them so that they're all like, oh, we like Cat.
Yeah.
Oh, we like Cat.
Well,
What's
then
your
she
problem
couldn't
with Cat?
sway
I don't
it
get it.
unless there was already something there.
Yeah, but if I already told them all Cat fucking sucks, then that's it. They're like,
Yeah.
well, we're on your side.
Yeah, they're so loyal to her. It's like not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a great little speech he gave there. He's just like,
Yes.
I really hate to tell you this, but unfortunately, it's you.
We,
You have to get yourself to a good place mentally if
yeah.
this is gonna work.
Yeah, and also like because I wasn't clear enough in Corden, I'm like, yeah, no,
Not
you
even
weren't.
close.
You weren't even a little bit clear.
Not
I
even a
don't
little
think
bit.
you even tried to be clear.
No, they
Anyways, I hope
didn't.
he learns anything from this as well as she does.
We'll
She can
see.
learn to handle a tough conversation, and he can learn
Mhm.
to not say nothing and then get mad at her.
He could learn a lot for sure. So he points out that the only weapons that Cat can wield are the ones that you hand her, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying you have to have control of your emotions. But she's like, I don't know. I haven't been in control since Resson. And she is she's definitely had an imbalance since that happened. And it's great to tell someone. I mean, we all know how much we love when just someone says, just, like
Calm
yeah,
down.
calm down,
Take a deep
stop being
breath.
emotional. Like it's much easier said than done. So
Yeah.
she's basically saying I can't really do that.
Yes.
Which is okay. It's okay that she can't.
Especially because he has a secondary solution.
Yeah. Especially because he does. So he says, you have to find your center again, Violet. I can't do it for you. Which is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you're a creature of logic and facts, and everything you know got turned upside down and shaken, right? Like she was sure. I mean, she knew so much that like now history class is an unknown to her because she suddenly found out, oh yeah, all that stuff I knew, it's
I
all
don't
wrong.
know.
It was
Yeah.
just lies, right?
Yeah.
So he says, you'll never know how truly sorry I am for that, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, you're going to have to figure it out. And then he said, look, Cat got to you because you weren't wearing your daggers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he explains the ones with intertwined V's, it's ruined to protect you from her gift. Keep them on until you find your fee and she can't fuck with you. And he says, like, you took them off at Corden. Well,
And then you
again,
go off to.
he hands her all these daggers and doesn't tell her what they're for.
I can't believe she doesn't right now tell me what the rest of them are ruined for.
Right?
Like, see, it's like I do get why he's annoyed with her not asking questions a little bit.
No, but still, we have to go back to the fact that, like,
No, but that would be a question that would make sense to ask.
Sure,
She
but
has
it's
the
still tough.
information about
Yeah.
2 of them. Just ask what the rest do.
Sure. If the game we're playing is you need to ask questions, yes. But if he was just being a nice guy, he could just tell her these things.
Yeah. No, I mean that's true too, but I would have instantly asked that.
Yeah, like,
Without
oh,
thinking
okay,
about
so
it.
I have which rune? Okay, these runes are for Cat. Okay, good.
Okay, so what's this?
What is this?
Which one's this one? Which one's this one? Also, she could ask her teacher too. That's also crazy.
Oh, if
Because
if you
she
assume
was
she
like,
knows
you're
all,
completely covered in runes.
she did say that.
Yeah, she could be like, oh, cool. So what does this one do? And
Yeah.
what does this one do?
Yeah, But,
It's fine.
we learned this with Harry Potter. If
You
Harry
can't
Potter
ask too
asked
many
all the
questions.
questions, the book would be over.
Yeah.
So, he says that, like, he figured that Kat was gonna somehow cause problems, and that's why he, like, basically set her up so that she couldn't get affected by it. But, of course,
Yeah.
she didn't know that because he didn't tell her.
Nope. Nope.
He also says she will never wear a Tirish crown. She's never had me on my knees in front of her.
Yeah.
And I've also never fucked her with my tongue. I just had to say that part.
He's like,
He's like,
"See, you're
"Listen,
still the
you"
first."
yes.
Well, maybe not the first, but between the two of you.
Between the 2 of you, you've got the best
Yeah.
here. She's like, "Now can we consider this discuss? I have things to do," basically, and sh and this is where she's like, "History," which I'm surprisingly awful at, it turns out, something about having read all the wrong books, and then he's like, "Maybe you should find the right
I know,
ones."
and I was like, "Oh, so maybe the right books that we do find out in the next chapter she has found and is reading are the
All these
blurbs that
little
we've been
blurbs.
reading from these, books."
We're determined to make this work.
I mean, it seems like it's working on its own.
Mostly. There's still an occasional, like, correspondence that we're not quite sure about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
okay. So then, they leave, and he says, "Do me a favor," and she says, "Anything," and he says, "Come to bed early tonight," because,
Yeah. He's like, "I have to
he's
focus
like
for the rest of my
yeah.
day." God.
Anyway, so that's great. So now we're chapter 49. The blurb in the front says flyers and riders are held equal in every regard, with the exception of wing structure. Riders will maintain their wings, sections, and squads, as well as retain their commands. Every drift will be absorbed by a squad, and their leader will replace the squad's current executive officer for unit cohesiveness and efficiency. So this is the Orisha Accord that I
Their
mentioned
leader
earlier.
will replace the
hmm
squad's current executive officer. Who is
So
the current executive
the executive
officer?
officer was oh my gosh, I wanted to say Garrett. No, it's Sawyer was the executive officer for Rhiannon.
Okay.
Which means that their leader, which is their leader Marin?
Or is it Cat?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to see if we find that out, but it's not
Yeah.
gonna find that out in this chapter.
No.
Their leader of whatever the Flyers group is now the executive
So
officer under
Sawyer
Rhiannon, and so that's
got
why
demoted.
yeah, didn't you see in here when he said something about that?
Maybe.
Or I think so. He makes some comment. He did get put down, not put down.
He got dropped. Oh, no, that doesn't work either.
So they obviously have just found out that Kat's drift has been integrated with their squad because Imogen's like, I feel like you're the only one who isn't surprised. And this is next morning in the
Yeah.
courtyard. And then Violet's like, we're the strongest squad, they're the strongest drift. I don't know how the rest of you guys are surprised, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I also guessed this the second we found out.
Yeah. Rhiannon's giving them all what I'm assuming is the Iron Squad patches to give
Yeah.
to the Flyers.
Yeah.
And they're all like, "Oh, I don't wanna do it." It's so funny because, like, I actually found myself a little bit annoyed with just all the people in the squad because they don't make it easy. I understand Cat's horrible, and I understand the Flyers and the writers have been like, I do understand
But
that they've
these
had
2 squads
centuries.
specifically just all fought on the mat and showed nothing
Totally.
but, like,
And I'm just that kind of person who's like, someone's gotta be the bigger person. I've been telling Brianna that all her life with her sister. Anyways, and I know no one wants to hear it, and it's probably so annoying, but I'm just like, "Man, someone's gotta start." But anyways,
yeah, it's just they work like, we learn how cohesive they are, like, they work so hard to
squad.
be a squad, to be, like, a
Yeah, and
group
now
of
they have
just
to
them, and now they have to open up their group to these strangers, which I guess is, like, 1st year
who have
technically,
been doing nothing but basically, like, causing trouble for them, antagonizing
antagonizing
them.
them for
Yeah, it's true.
however many weeks, and it's
It's
like,
true, but
"Really?"
I'm still like, you notice all these little comments that they make that's just gonna keep
I know. It's
fanning
like, you
the
guys
flames.
you do have to work together, now you can at least be
Now we
quiet.
should, like, at least keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep your inside thoughts to yourself. If it's nothing nice, don't say it, whatever all those words are.
I do wonder if they would be nicer if it was a random other flyer squad.
Yes, I think they
Probably.
would.
See, so it's like they just have issues with
Yeah,
these
no, and I
people.
understand it. I found myself a little like, "Oh, come on, guys." But that's okay, that's the mom in me. Anyways,
And also it's like you guys are gonna have to work together, and we know how important it is to have each other's
that's
back.
the main thing. It's one of those things where it's like, if we're gonna go into war, I don't know, like, like, we need to have this under control.
Yeah, they would
So
probably just split up if they're going to war though.
probably. So, yeah, so apparently, Violet's gonna give Kat the patch because she says that she'll do it, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's only because you have your dagger on you.
That is for sure true. And she does actually, like, tap the dagger just to make sure, "Okay, it's still there."
Yeah,
And then she thinks to herself, "Xaden loves me. He chose me. I will be the most powerful writer of my generation."
right, so
Cat
she's, like, hyping herself
she's, like,
up.
hyping herself up. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Sloane obviously does not like these people.
No.
Anyways, Violet steps forward, says, "Welcome to Second Squad, Flame Section, Fourth Wing, also known as the Iron Squad." And she offers her the patch, Cat the patch. And Cat's like, "What are we supposed to do with them?" And then Riddick's like, "We sew them on our uniforms." And he does like the motion of sewing,
Like, really
like
dramatically.
dramatically. And she's like, "Why?" And I don't even know if she's being rude or if she's just like actually doesn't understand.
I think she actually doesn't
I
understand
think
because
so
it
too.
says her gaze sweeps over us, catching on the different patches like
Hmm.
she's never noticed them
So
before.
she just never noticed them before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Violet explains rank, like which one's the rank, which one's the wing, Iron Squad, the signet. And she says patches are earned, like they choose like where they want to put it and stuff other than like the wing and the rank.
Yeah.
And she also says it's never on flight leathers, and that's why she probably never noticed it on Xaden.
Yes.
Yeah, because never wouldn't have traveled in a cadet uniform. So
No, also, he only even in his cadet uniform, he would only wear the wing
yeah,
and the rank.
yeah, nothing else,
He
nothing.
he don't wanna wear his signet
Yeah,
because I think it's not mandatory to wear your signet one.
doesn't sound like it. Probably more of a brag or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Violet ends with, "He generally abhors patches," and she thinks to herself, That wasn't so bad. I can be civil." And then Kat's comment is, "I knew that. I've known him for years."
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, you could be civil, but can Kat be civil?
Never, ever, ever.
But she notes the twinge of jealousy,
Uh-huh.
but there's no rage.
Yeah.
So it's just a noting like, okay, I'm a little jealous that she's been privy to these parts of his life, right?
Yeah, I think that just acknowledging that that's your feeling and that you felt that is already, like, a first step in controlling them.
Yeah.
So,
She's very
good
happy
start.
that it stopped there.
Yeah.
And Kat picks it up that it didn't go any farther. Like she literally was messing with her mind at that point because
She was trying
her
to.
eyes widen and she's like, "What the hell?"
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Gosh, every chance she gets.
Nice. And then that she says, Violet says, "Welcome to the Quadrant's only Iron Squad." And then she like pivots and grabs Rhiannon and they walk off, right?
Yep.
And then Kat yells afterwards, "Being in the same squad doesn't change the fact that it's still my crown." Girl,
Oh my gosh.
girl. And then Rhiannon whispers, "Let's feed her to Sigale." Violet looks at Kat and says, "Did you know that Tyrande hasn't had a crown in more than 600 years? Turns out they melted them all down to forge the unification crown, so good luck with that."
Yeah, right.
Which is not even the point, honestly, Violet, but still.
No, I think it is the point. She's
Well,
after an imaginary crown.
yeah, but the point is that Ryerson won't take her no matter whether there's a crown or not.
Sure, but also she's fighting Violet
For
for a
something that's not
position
there.
that will not exist.
True.
At least as far as we are aware. I would
Yeah.
love this book to end with Violet as the queen. I mean, just come on.
Queen
Well, maybe
Violet.
not this book, like the next book or like the book after that. Not so fast. But
That would be a lot to happen between here.
yeah.
There's not that many pages for her to become queen in this book.
No. But I'm just like before I was like, okay, you're fighting over a man. Like, it's not that deep. There's other men. And now I'm like, well, now you're fighting over something that doesn't even exist. It's somehow worse.
She's got plans.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know.
Yeah.
But then Kat says it's going to be fun making your life as miserable as you've made mine.
By existing, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then Violet's like, "Oh, fuck civility," right? Now Marin steps in. I just love Marin every single time. She's like, "Kat, stop it. You're being ugly. I told you over and over that she didn't drop Luella. She fell. It's as simple as that."
It's really not what it's even about.
No, it's not about Luella anymore. I mean, it never was about Luella.
Oh my
It's not
gosh.
you.
I think Luella is what made me think about Llewellyn. A cadet
Oh,
named Llewellyn. Because I was like, I
oh.
swear we've heard this name.
No. Yeah,
Okay,
that's funny.
anyways.
That could be it. So then Violet's like, "Oh, and one more thing. That trick you mentioned, with the finger? Thanks."
That was amazing.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you taught him that because I'm reaping the benefit. No, she didn't
Yeah.
say that, but that's what she said.
Good for me,
Fine.
bad for you. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that makes Imogen laugh and snort. And Rhiannon probably doing a slow clap. It says she clapped a few times, but it had to have been a slow clap, right?
Yeah.
And then Riddick says, "I fucking love you," and throws his arm around Violet. It's like, "Anyone hungry? I woke up somewhere I hadn't exactly planned on and missed breakfast." Riddick. And how do you not plan I mean, you have to plan a little bit, right?
No, I think he was like,
Either that or
I'm going to
wait,
bed," and he's
is this
walking towards his room, then he's like, "Oh, well, guess I have to have sex with this person now."
that's how fast it went?
Yeah.
Unless he got drunk. I mean, to me, I instantly thought sex, but could he have gotten drunk and that's how I woke up somewhere else? Or maybe it's both.
Both.
Yeah, it was probably
I
both.
say both.
Okay, good. And so then she says she has plans in the library,
Wait, are
and
they allowed to drink just at any time? I thought they only get drinks on special occasions,
you don't know.
like on for parties and
It
stuff.
would seem like that would be smart considering that they need to be
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true, okay.
Yeah.
So she says she's gonna go to the library, and then Laura's Sawyer is like, "The library? Me too!" Which is so cute. Did you get pick up on that
Yes,
immediately?
yes, yeah, because of Justinia.
Yeah,
No, I'm all
exactly.
over this ship.
Yeah, and then Rhiannon's like, "I'll go too," and then Rick's like, "Well, if you guys are going, I'm going." She's like, "You guys don't wanna come with me," and they're like, "Oh, we need to get away from Kat. You're just an excuse." Just cute. Yeah, Sawyer's like, "What if she decides to make me hate you?" And then Rhiannon's like, "Make Xaden hate you." And then she's like, she can't. Oh, and then Riddick says, "Or make you instantly horny for some random flyer." So this is you
Uh-huh.
being Violet, right?
Yeah.
And then you're not the only one in that bed when Xaden rotates back.
That would be bad.
Oh, yeah.
But she
Anyways,
doesn't have feelings for anyone else, so it
nope.
won't happen.
So she explains that you can only amplify the emotions you already have.
Yeah.
And then I like how this conversation's sort of like, "Oh, we can kill her." And everybody's like, kinda like, "Whatever, no one will notice," type of thing.
Yeah, like, we could do this to kill
And
her.
she's like, "We can't kill her. She's our squad mate." And then she thinks in her head, "Wait, is that really the only ethical line there?"
Yes, for Cat?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
apparently.
no, I feel like she has more to that in her head. No, maybe I don't know. Well, because I feel like he knew that she would regret killing her before, and that was before she knew she was her squad mate.
But yeah, I know, but now she's
Violet just
like,
doesn't
we
like killing
actually
people.
consider it for a few seconds,
That's
at least
true.
I do. I think she doesn't wanna kill, but she's like, "If they're offering,
Yeah.
I'm not
Maybe
gonna
I
say
could just,
no."
yeah, blink and look the other way.
Yeah.
Ugh, Sawyer's like, "We'll bury the body, don't worry, we have a few hours." And then this is great. And Darna says, "Good idea, I could use a snack." And then Taryn says, "We do not eat our allies." And then she says, "You never let me have any fun." Aw.
This never gets old, it's amazing, I love them.
Yeah.
But also, I guess now Taryn has, decided that
The
she
cat
is
is
an
an
ally
ally.
because the last chapter,
He wasn't
he
sure.
was like, I think
The jury's still out or
yeah,
something, yeah.
she's like, "She has not proven herself to be an ally yet." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, they're in
Oh,
the same
that's great.
squad."
Did he maybe offer to do something to Kat or something? And Darna was like, "I thought we don't eat our allies." And he says, "Well, whatever."
Or
Yeah, maybe.
Violet's like, "I thought we don't kill our
Yeah,
allies," or something, yeah.
maybe, yeah, but we don't eat our allies.
Yeah,
I
guess
still
not.
think it's a little bit on the line if Kat is an ally. But I
Yeah,
guess the flyers in general are supposed to be the allies.
I mean, she didn't say she was gonna kill Violet, she just said
Make her
she's gonna make
miserable.
her life miserable.
Yeah.
Karen's like, "That's fine."
So so whose allies are we talking about? Is the rebellion's allies or Violet's? Because she's not Violet.
I say the rebellion.
I think that's what he's thinking. So funny.
Uh,
They go into the library, and she makes a mention that there's like a second floor that hasn't yet been filled with books, and that she's got a plan to get it filled, which is kind of cute. She wants to fill
yes.
this library, right?
Yes.
She explains that she got some books from Takaris, and that she's like hoping to kind of like sit and study them and stuff. That's what she says, but instead she's meeting Dain, so I wasn't really sure. Maybe both.
Yeah.
Anyway, she removes the 6 books, right? And she's stacking them with Warwick's journal. She says Crovelish is not my strong suit. So Crovelish must be what her books are because old Lucerus or whatever is the journal, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. She seems to be like saying she's just there to study her books, but then
Well, maybe it's like, "Okay, I'm gonna meet Dane for a minute, and then I'm gonna study these books."
or maybe she's just at this point she was meeting Dane to let him know she needed his help. So maybe it was
Yeah.
just like, hey, meet me. I'll be in the library at this point
Yeah.
because I'm going to be studying these
That's
books.
what I
Yeah.
think. Because then,
Okay.
like, when they're actually doing something later, it's later, and they're in the place with the wardstone. So this is
Yeah.
just, like, this could just
So
be
it
a
might be
short meeting,
just
and then she's gonna study her Crovelin books.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Sawyer sees Jacinia and he says he wants to like make sure that he's got the good morning sign, right? So
Yeah.
he goes off in her direction and then Riddick's like, would have been much more fun my way. She's got a great sense of humor. But then he's like coming back already and Violet's like, he only knows about 4 phrases, but he's catching on.
Yeah, so cute. I love it.
Yeah. No, but see, okay, so interesting so then they say, is Crovish Jasenia's specialty? And then she says, no, it's his as the door opens happens, and then Dane's coming in. So his specialty is Crowflish,
Yeah.
but the book is in Old
No, but
Shares.
she never said, even he says that that's not his specialty. He
Okay.
just also knows it as well as sh like, not as well,
Oh,
but she knows it, he
he
knows
knows
it,
it,
but it's not his specialty.
and not her specialty particularly
Yeah.
that we're aware of.
So
Okay.
maybe he's also gonna come help her with these books too.
Yeah, maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah.
He's just gonna help her in general.
Yeah.
Because they know their languages. Okay, good. So Dane comes in and says, "You asked to see me of your own volition, no orders or anything."
Anyways, the second he showed up, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the thing that I guessed was gonna happen," kind of offhand, remember? I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, maybe Dane can help her translate this book
right.
because
If only they would talk to each other.
they
Yeah,
used to, like, send these notes or whatever,
that's right.
talk in
Yeah,
this
you did
language."
say that.
Anyways, so I called this.
You called it.
I called it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, she like hesitates for a second, and then she remembers that he stabbed Varish, and he called the formation that split the quadrant, and that when the truth came to light, he chose to exile with this group of people who despise him because it was the right thing to do. And when she kind of puts that in a little like summary like that, it's like, yeah, he
Yeah.
did do all that.
He did do all that, but then when we get into the next thing that they talk about, it's like, well, he also did all of that. So
I know, but he is.
he's not a bad person in his soul.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just a
just.
bad friend.
Is that really what you come out of from that whole conversation?
He is just a selfish friend.
Yeah, I think that was wrong in a lot of things,
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't
but his
listening to her. That's
heart
what I'm
was in the right
saying.
place.
Like, he wasn't listening to her at
He was
all.
not. No, no, that's. There's
So
no question about
that makes him
that.
not a good friend.
That's true. That's true. I just like. I feel like
Good person,
his
bad friend.
heart was in the right place. His actions sucked.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And he's a good, but he has nothing. He doesn't have bad intentions.
Yeah,
He's just a bad friend to Violet because they went through
she
these
didn't need that.
changes,
Yeah,
both of them, and they're just no longer really very compatible as friends.
yeah.
And
No, she
maybe
much more needed Rhiannon and
yes.
like her squad mates. Like they were much better friends for her at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so she sees him. She says, "I need your help." He says, "All right." And then she thinks, and just like that, I remember why he used to be one of my favorite people. So obviously,
Yeah.
because he does trust her, I think is what she's thinking. But I feel like if she said that to any of her squad mates, said, "I need your help," they'd be like, "Okay, what do you need?"
Yes. It's them, Zayden, and Dane, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and Dane's on that too. So she's
Yeah.
remembering this. He is good for something.
Yeah. Well, because they were best friends.
Yeah.
And he probably was a very good friend to her.
I think he was at that time. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
And he probably would have stayed a really good friend to her if she went to the scribe quadrant.
Yeah, but he even explained that how he changed through his first year too.
Yeah.
I mean, it very much could have been possible, but I'm just saying,
I'm just saying it could have still worked out with them in separate quadrants. Okay, so
yeah.
here we go. We've jumped to the next day, and they are actually in that Wardstone chamber looking at where Warwick's journal. And he says, "That's not the word for rain."
I know. I know. I was like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." Is he gonna just say what it is right now? No.
No.
But I was so excited.
But also, he finds out something else about this that was amazing. We'll get to there. So she's like, "I'm pretty sure it is." And he's like, "Did you
She's like,
ask this?"
"Shut up, Violet. You didn't even get it right?" Yeah, sorry.
Don't tell him.
Sorry. See, I'm pretty sure I'm right. It's like, were you? Because it
Were
seems like you
you?
were wrong. Maybe consider the fact that you were wrong.
Maybe. So
Anyways,
then
it's
he
fine.
says, "Did you ask Jasenia?" And she's like, "Well, she thought it was rain too." And
Mhm.
he points out that she doesn't specialize in this. And
Right.
he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, she." Okay, so he specifically says that she specializes in Moranian. And then Violet looks all like surprised, and he's like, "What?" "Yes, I pay attention to you when you talk," basically. And
At
this says,
least I
"At least
used
I
to.
used to."
See?
So he's getting that he was wrong.
You stopped listening to her. I get that he
Yes.
gets it.
I guess I'm just pointing out that he has realized that he was a bad friend.
And he's at least on the right side of the war
When
now.
people realize they've done wrong, sometimes it's okay to forgive
And
them.
sometimes when they get people killed, it can be hard.
Fine.
It's not like, "Oh, I forgot your birthday." It's like, "Oh, sorry, I got 2 of your friends killed." What?
Slight difference
A
in
little bit.
priorities there.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Soleil was a friend.
Okay, fine. One of your closest friends
I know,
killed
I
and
know.
also someone else.
I know. I know I'm not winning this, and I'm not even trying that hard. But anyways, okay, so then she asks him, because this is when they get into this conversation that we've already kinda talked about. "When
Mhm.
did you stop?" And he sighs, and he says, "I don't know, probably when I said goodbye to you on conscription day, mine, of course, not yours." And then she's like, "Yeah, you said hello to me on mine. Actually, I think you asked what the hell I was doing there." And then he's like, I was so pissed and scared. I finally made it to second year, gained the privilege of visiting other quadrants so I might be able to see you instead of being tucked away safely with the scribes, you show up dressed in black for the writers. And he said you were so dizzy, I still have no idea how you made it across the parapet.
I think that adrenaline dizzy hit her after she finished.
Yeah, it did
She was
100%.
able to hold it off until then, and she probably wouldn't have gotten hit so hard if she didn't have Jack throwing someone off behind her and then
Trying
chasing
to
her
kill
down
her.
it.
Yes, no,
She
100%.
probably would
She
have been
would
a
have been in a
lot
much
better
better shape.
shape, yeah.
There goes Jack again.
Whew.
Where is Jack?
What
Okay.
is Jack up
What
to?
what is
Tell
he
me
up to?
everything about Jack, please. I was
He's
asking the book.
okay, good. All I could think was that I just survived a year of hearing my friends' names called in the death roll, and I was gonna make damn sure yours wasn't. And then you hated me for trying to give you what you always told me you wanted. And
Mm,
she says, "That's not why I hated." And then she's like, "You wouldn't let me grow up, and you were so fucking pigheaded that you knew what was right for me. You were never like that as a kid."
right, so
And then he
this
points
is
out, like,
the thing of, like, that
I've
attitude that he
changed.
had, he didn't used to have,
Yeah.
so it makes more sense how they were closer friends.
Yeah. So points out that he was different in that year, and so is she, and she gets that for sure. Living by the codex kind of does that with you. I like how she says, part of me wonders if that's why they push us so hard. They transform us into the perfect weapon, teach us to critically think about everything except the codex and the orders they give. So
Right.
they're like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what that
training
battle
them.
brief definitely does do that.
Yeah.
Also, I just wanna say that if she went to the writer's quadrant and he came to visit and he had this, like, the attitude that the writers
You mean,
have?
wait, hold on. If
If
she went to the
she went to the
scribes,
scribes
okay,
and
and
Dane
he
came to
had the
visit
attitude, yeah,
and had this attitude that the writers just generally have of, like, "We're the best, and
and
we're the
he
best."
just pats her on the head and treats her like a
Yeah,
little scribe.
"Oh, Violet, you're so cute." I think she would've been like, "Okay. We can still be friends because I don't see you that much, but we're not being more than friends at
Yeah.
least." I think she
Yeah,
would've
it could
gotten
have
old
gone
quick.
nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah, because she wouldn't be like,
because she's still her, like, in the way of being, like, she knows she's smart, she's capable, she would be very good at what she was doing in the scribe quadrant, so to be treated like that probably wouldn't have gone well.
yeah, for sure. And for all we know, he was dating Amber.
That's true.
We're not quite sure about that. That's still up in the air. I mean, no, or maybe it was just first year that he was.
He was sleeping with Amber at
It
some
sure sound
point.
like it.
And also I didn't even know we didn't know for sure if he was actually interested in Violet in that way until a bit later on.
Mhm.
It was like,
Because in the
maybe
beginning,
they're
she was
just
like, "Does he ever see me like this?" Like,
yeah,
whatever, whatever, and then yeah.
who
I
knows?
almost feel like he wasn't interested in her,
I think he
and that he only did when Xaden started getting interested.
wouldn't surprise me because it is how it read.
Yeah, when the most popular guy in the school starts, like, looking at your friend, you might start looking at her differently too, type of thing, you know?
And as she was getting stronger, which means she was getting more toned and probably looking less fragile. So maybe
True.
he was like,
And she had this great signet and a big ass dragon. So all these things
Taryn is
together,
hot.
although no, did he kiss her before her signet came out? Yeah, he did.
Yes.
But the
But after she bonded,
but after she bonded, so he may be thinking like, this
maybe I
person's
wanna
gonna get me
ally myself.
farther this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is what I thought was very interesting that he points out. He says, "Where are your translations for the beginning? Maybe we can compare the symbols." And she's like, "Oh, I skipped the word entries." And he's like, "You skipped?
Yeah,
You of all
I'm
people?"
like, "Oh, come on, Violet." So you're telling me after you messed it up a little, you didn't really activate the war stone, you didn't think to read more of the journal? Like, I get she's other things going on, but
Yeah,
Violet, please.
but we needed the book to run this way, so she had to not do it.
I know, it's gonna have to be at the end or whatever.
Yeah. And then that's just a little comment here, which I'm hoping means that, okay, is she gonna now like read the beginning part?
Hopefully.
But he says, "Are we finally gonna talk about what happened?" And so she doesn't want to. So she's like touching the words from, she's asking if he knows how to imbue, which I guess is putting power into something, right?
Yeah.
That can hold the power, right? Like her little, what's it called? Circular
Conduit.
thing, conduit. Yeah. And he says, yeah. He gets up, kind of stands next to her. He says, "I'm sorry, Violet." And she says, "I feel like it should be imbued, don't you think?" So she's still like totally ignoring him.
Yeah. Yeah, but, what if you
Mm.
imbue it with your lightning powers? I don't know how imbuing works. Is it just, like, baseline power? I don't know. But still really
I don't
think
know, but it sounds like she doesn't know how, because then he's sitting next to her, right? And it says
he's
that, like,
doing it.
she starts feeling the warmth and he's doing it. Yeah, so maybe she doesn't know how, I don't know. Like, it feels like, don't you just, like,
I don't
push
know.
your power into
Kinda
something?
like how you had to, like, take a strand of your power to do the runes. They had to be taught how to do that, so maybe, like, this specific
Just
action
takes
just
a
has to
little
get
more.
a little bit of
Yeah.
an instruction of how do you visualize it. It's probably not she herself could probably pick it up very fast.
She just needs to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
He, again, is, like, trying to get this conversation. He says, "I'm sorry for the role I played in their deaths. I'm so fucking sorry." And she asks him the question we all wanted to know. "Did you steal my memories every time you touched my face last year?"
So she can ask Dain good question. I'm sorry, I'm not on
Well,
Zayden's
she is
side.
not worried. She's like, "If
I
I'm
know.
mad at him at the end, that's fine because 'cause I've been mad at him all this time."
I know, I know. I'm not on Zayden's side, but, like, sometimes I do see a little bit of why he's annoyed, but I think he's worse in that scenario than she
Yeah.
is,
Yeah,
so
for sure. So she asks him the question we all wanna know, and he says no. So she's like, "Oh, okay, so just when you needed information, you couldn't ask me for?" And then he explains that he did it by accident the first time. He was used to touching her because he did. He touched her face all the time. It was
yeah,
just that what he did, and she even said that's just what he always does to me. Like, that was just a common thing. It wasn't a
that's why she
reading
didn't
mind thing. Yeah.
spot it right away, yeah.
But he says, "You'd gotten close to Ryerson, and my father had pretty much bragged about the way your mother cut into him,
Yes.
Zayden. I knew he had to be after revenge, but you wouldn't listen to me." I wonder why he would think touching her would find out of Zayden's after revenge. If she didn't know, she didn't know. What was anyways, okay, whatever.
That's a great but that's also not really what he said earlier. He said, "I was proving my dad wrong."
I know, that's true. He is saying something different here.
Mhm. He seems to be a
Mm,
little bit more like, "No, it was just for you and your safety," where before it was like, "Yeah, well, my dad was asking," and I was like, "No, you're wrong. I'll prove it to you."
I don't know how you can prove it when he was just, like, taking the most recent he's not rifling through her head on every Zayden thing
I don't
because
know.
he didn't even know they were together until later. He
He
missed the most important Zayden memory.
his training wasn't all there yet.
Yeah. So I don't really know. This does seem a little, like, sus, but,
Also, how does Dane have so much free time? Shouldn't he be doing patrols? I guess he's not
right now?
always on patrol.
Right now, you
Yeah,
mean?
he's a 3rd year.
He has a 3rd year. Do they trust him?
Great question.
Or she may have said, "Hey, I need you.
I mean, they
This
can't
is
always
urgent."
be on patrol. They have to
That's
take
true.
turns, I'm sure, but
Yeah. There was they did mention something about on rotation, so there's
yeah.
rotation, yeah. So then he says, "I fucked up. I fucked up and trusted my dad when I should have trusted your judgment."
See, there's a little
Yeah.
something.
"And there's nothing I can say or do that's gonna bring Liam back." He says he's sorry, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't even know how to make it up for her, and he doesn't, like, whatever. He knows that, like, she can't, like, think of Liam and, like, whatever, you know? Oh, no,
Yeah.
she says that.
Yeah, no,
"I
no.
can't think of Liam and look at you at the same time." Yeah.
Yes.
Right. She says, "I don't wanna hate you, Dane, but I'm not sure I'll ever be able to." And then I'm sure she was gonna say forgive you
Yeah.
or like you the same way or have the same relationship or any of those things, but he suddenly starts to imbue the stone, so she starts feeling it, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How long would it take to fully" she says, "How long would it take to fully imbue it?" And he's like, "Weeks, maybe a month." So long.
Yeah, he said it's gonna take a bit, but I was like, "I bet you if Violet learned how to do it, she could do it faster."
'Cause she's more powerful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Much more powerful than Dane, I would
Yeah.
say.
So she explains that she needs this help with a journal, and she's like, knows she doesn't really wanna talk about this whole thing with Liam, and that she needs, like, just some more distance from that. Like, she's just not ready to.
Yeah.
She's still really, has a hard time with this whole Reston thing. But
Yes.
she's like, "I still need you to help me without talking about it." And he says, "I can do that." And she's like, "Thank you. I'm usually free for about a half an hour this time of the day." And he says, "Me too. And I'll also work on imbuing the stone." And then she says she'll ask Zayden to help, which I assume means imbuing the stone.
Yeah, which should help it go
So
faster.
then when he mentions Zayden, there's a really funny line here, which I noticed that you highlighted. I love it. He's like, "About Ryerson." And she's like, "Be very careful with your words." And he says, "Are you in love with him? Because Garrick and I heard the end of what he said in the interrogation chamber. And trust me, I might be in love with him after that declaration."
It's really not what I was expecting him to say. Very funny.
It is very funny. He's like, "But are you truly, you know?" And she's like,
Mhm.
"Yes." And that's never going to change. And he says, "Okay, I'll trust him as much as you do."
Yeah, and, like, this part of this conversation is also what makes me think, like, he couldn't have had very strong feelings for Violet because he seemed jealous of Xaden briefly, but that seemed to have gone away easily.
I think the friendship is the core of their thing.
Yeah.
Like anything after that, maybe, but he might have been like, maybe this will work. Maybe I can make this work and stuff. But
Yeah,
that's not what he
but
needs.
even then, he didn't want to continue a relationship because 'cause it'd be frowned upon, so
Yeah.
clearly he didn't care, he wasn't that into it.
He was definitely not in lust with, even closely in lust with her. Zayden like fought it so hardcore
And
and still gave in.
he was her wing leader.
Wing leader.
Wing
Not
leader!
even, yeah. But yeah, so that is the end of that chapter. Do you
Yeah.
have any predictions?
I want to guess what else her daggers are gonna do, but they're all, like, so specific.
I know. It's
It's
like,
like
how do
a
you guess
door
it?
that unlocks when you really need it and, like,
And this
anti-cat
person's
power.
yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know how I could guess other ones, but I hope we see a few more of them. Maybe, like, something with her falling off a dragon, like, maybe something that helps her, like, slows her down
Bounces.
at the end. I don't know how that could be possible, but the runes are pretty cool. Or,
Mhm.
like a boomerang dagger, one that just comes right back to her hand every time. That you could probably do if you had the other
Or what about,
dagger.
like, the Percy Jackson,
Always returns to your
it just always
pocket.
returns to
Your pocket also has a rune stitched inside it. That's the thing is, like, what is it reacting to? It could be connected to her power, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
If he, like, put a strand of her hair in it.
It's
We
true.
know that he can do that.
Yeah, I mean, he grabs her hair enough.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
sure her
sure
if she has long hair, there's
it's
probably
all over
hairs
the place.
everywhere.
We
She
know
can
that
just
works.
grab any of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's pretty cool. I really do think that she'll get some royalty one day, but that's like I don't even know if that's written yet. I don't know how fast these books move, but if
She'll get some royalty?
yeah, like she'll be the Duchess,
Oh,
or
she'll become okay,
yeah,
sorry.
I did say that weird.
Yeah.
She'll become royalty. I think that'd be so cool. Princess Violet. I mean, I guess she would just go straight to queen. There wouldn't be a
It's like
princess phase.
a very common trope, right?
Yeah,
You always find out the main
they're
character
always
is
the
gonna be
secret princess.
a secret princess. Straight out of our little storyline thing we did.
Yeah.
Cool, I like these predictions.
Yeah, but for, like, right now, what's gonna happen next besides her figuring out the word zone
Well,
soon?
look, we have this much
Yeah,
what's gonna happen in this much
apparently something crazy. So, I don't know.
because your husband ended like, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
Did he really finish the 3rd book already?
yeah.
How has he not talked to me?
Well, he's got to
Wasn't he
talk to
dying to
Brittany
talk to someone? Oh, he did
and
talk to Brittany?
Ashley.
Oh, he already talked to them about it?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know for
Why did
sure.
they get so lucky and I didn't get to?
Because
Okay,
we're always together,
I
like
know. Okay, good. So, yeah, that's it. We'll find out more, as we keep reading. Things
Yes.
are happening.
Yes. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. We have Instagram and Threads that you can follow us on. There's posts there.
Yeah, it's First Swing Pod.
Yes, that's where you can find us. Also, if you rate and review our podcast on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, we will read it on the pod.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have one this time to read.
No. On Spotify, though, you just rate our podcast and then you can leave a comment
Yes.
because there's not like written reviews on there, but still, it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should all do that. Even if you don't want a written review to be read on the podcast, like you just like, I don't know, I have nothing to say. Just give us 5 stars. That's it. You don't even have to write anything.
You can do that too. That would be nice. It does help on Apple Podcasts specifically. It helps a lot for this to come up in other people's like feed or as suggestions and stuff like that if people rate it
Yeah.
and review it, but even just rating it. So that will help us get out to more people. If you are enjoying our podcast and you have any friends that are also reading these books or would be interested, please let them know. Tell them about us. Or if you're on any of these Facebook groups, there's so many Fourth Wing Facebook groups, you
Yeah.
can mention us because, yeah, it just helps us get known more. It's otherwise there's no like advertising.
Yeah, we'd have to pay for that, and we don't really care to do that.
Yeah, we're just doing this
We're
on our
just
off
doing
time.
this. Yeah,
Okay.
we also have a Discord. The link is always in the description of our episodes. If you click it, you can join our Discord for free. You
Yep.
just you just come in, you can chat. You can
Please be
chat
very careful because the general chat is Brianna's on there, so you're not allowed to spoil anything. But we do have a spoiler chat. So if you have any if as we're going through this, or even if you're just reading the later book and you want to say something about it, you can go in that spoiler channel. You can say this is about Onyx Storm, and then say whatever you want. Yeah,
Yeah, good. It's good to be aware of that because we don't want me to get spoiled. It'll ruin the whole podcast.
the whole point of the
The whole point of the podcast.
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Next episode, we will cover chapters 50 and 51. Oh my
All
gosh,
right.
getting so close.
Getting so close. Okay, join us next time, writers. Bye.
Bye.